She left her baby on my porch with a half-empty diaper bag and said, "I'll be right back." That was the last thing my sister ever said to me for 5 years. No warning, no call, no birthday wishes, no child support, just silence. And when she did show up again, she didn't come with an apology. She came with a lawyer. I was 28 when it happened. No kids, no partner, just a quiet apartment, 3 houseplants I named after jazz singers, and a job that paid just enough to make it through each month. I wasn't the kind of woman you'd expect to raise a child. I worked 10-hour hospital shifts. I lived on frozen meals and almond milk. I liked waking up to nothing but silence. Then came Ava, my niece. She was barely 2, hair in soft, wild curls, cheeks red from crying. Her little fists clutched the straps of a worn-down bunny backpack. I remember standing at the door, stunned, while my sister, Taylor, looked anywhere but at me. "Just for a week," she muttered, chewing her lip. "I need time to figure things out." That week turned into a month. Then she stopped texting. Then she blocked my number. I kept waiting. I left the porch light on. I'd check Ava's face in the rearview mirror and wonder if Taylor missed it. But she never came. I wasn't prepared to raise a child. I Googled everything from how to get a toddler to sleep through the night to what does normal poop look like. I called in sick to take her to doctor appointments. I took less overtime, bought a used car seat off Facebook Marketplace, and scrubbed it with Lysol wipes until my hands cracked. The first time she called me Mama, I froze. Not because I wanted that title, but because no one else had earned it. I told Ava the truth, softly, age-appropriately. That Mommy was away, but she loved her. That sometimes grown-ups get lost inside their own storms. But as birthdays passed with no calls, as Ava asked why her friends' moms came to school pickups and hers didn't, I had fewer words to wrap the silence in. And still, I tried. I built her a life. Not perfect, but safe. Yellow-painted bedroom, warm lunchboxes with handwritten notes, puppet shows on Fridays. We had a bedtime song that only we sang. I never filed for custody. I didn't want to cause drama, didn't want to make it legal like I was stealing her. I thought, hoped, Taylor would come back as a mother. But what came back was something else. Ava was 6 when Taylor's name showed up on my phone again. It was a Sunday. I still remember the smell of pancake batter and syrup. Ava was in the living room building a pillow fort with my throw blankets. Unknown number. I picked up, cautious. "Hey," said the voice on the other end, light, breezy, unfamiliar. It took me a second to recognize her. "Taylor." She laughed. "Wow, you sound exactly the same." I didn't. I sounded older, tired, responsible. She asked if she could visit. "Just to see her," she said. "No drama, I promise." I didn't say yes right away. But deep down, I still wanted to believe she could change, that she was better now, that maybe Ava could have her mother back. So I said yes. The knock came 2 days later. Taylor stood there in designer boots and full makeup, thin, clean, expensive. She smelt like a boutique and looked like she hadn't cried in years. Ava stood behind me, peeking out. Taylor crouched with a fake smile. "Hey, baby, remember Mommy?" Ava just stared at her. No hug, no smile, just quiet. Taylor's smile cracked for a second, then came back brighter. "Well, she's shy," she said. "I get it. She'll warm up." I didn't argue, but something in my stomach twisted. She stayed for exactly 34 minutes. Gave Ava a pink teddy bear, tried to braid her hair and gave up halfway, asked to use the bathroom, probably just to snoop. Before she left, she said, "You really did a good job, you know." I wanted to believe that was gratitude. Turns out, it was inventory. 3 days later, I got this. From Taylor. I think it's time Ava comes home. I'm in a better place now. I can give her more. No thank you, no apology, just a decision. As if I'd been babysitting for 5 years. I replied, "You walked away for half a decade. She doesn't even know you." She left me on red. The envelope was thick. My name on the front, an unfamiliar law firm's letterhead inside. Taylor had filed for full custody. She was suing me. Me, the one who stayed. The one who kissed scraped knees and attended parent-teacher nights and spent sleepless nights worrying about a child that wasn't mine, but felt like mine in every possible way. I remember sitting on the floor that night, legs numb, while Ava slept in the next room. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't cry. All I could think was, she's trying to take her away. After disappearing, after abandoning us both, she's trying to erase everything. And the law? It might let her. The first court date was cold. Not just the weather, but the room, the stares, the way Taylor wouldn't look at me, only through me, like I was a placeholder she forgot to thank. She wore a white blouse, clean, classy. She held a laminated folder and smiled at the judge like she was running for office. I had no lawyer, couldn't afford one. All my money had gone to daycare, pull-ups, sneakers every 4 months, dental visits, and little pink backpacks that came home torn. The courtroom didn't care about any of that. They asked, "Do you have legal guardianship?" I said, "No, but I have everything else." Taylor's lawyer was smooth. She spoke about a mother reclaiming her place, about healing and restoration, and said I had good intentions but no legal standing. Then they showed photos, pictures of Taylor in rehab, Taylor volunteering at church, Taylor with a new fiancé who looked like a stock photo come to life. They painted me as the reason Ava couldn't remember her mother, like I had blocked the door, like I was selfish. The first time I cried wasn't in court. It was in my car, with my forehead on the steering wheel and my hands still gripping the keys. I don't know how long I sat there, breathing into nothing, shaking. When I finally got home, Ava was coloring on the living room floor. She looked up. "Did the doctor fix Mommy's brain yet?" she asked, innocent. I froze. "What do you mean?" She shrugged. "I heard you say she was sick, and when people are sick, they go to the doctor. So is she better now?" I nodded slowly. "Yeah, baby, she's better now." She went back to coloring. I went into the bathroom and threw up. 2 weeks later, I got a text. "Taylor, don't take this personally. I'm just doing what's right. She deserves her real mother." I stared at those words for a long time. What is real? Is it blood? Or is it holding her hand after nightmares, memorizing her favorite bedtime song, being there when no one else showed up? I never replied, but that was the moment something in me changed. I started documenting everything. Every late night cry, every school drop-off, every birthday card she never got from Taylor. I printed receipts from daycare, photos from the hospital when Ava broke her wrist, drawings she made of the two of us with stick figure hearts and the word "mommy" over my head. I wasn't going to play dirty, but I was going to protect her. Taylor tried everything. First, she filed for temporary visitation. Then she claimed I was emotionally manipulating Ava. Then she showed up outside the school unannounced. The principal called me, said Taylor had tried to take Ava without telling anyone, that she kept saying, "I'm the mother, I don't need permission." I had to leave work early. Ava was in tears. After that, I filed for emergency guardianship. That night, Ava asked me, "Why is Mommy being mean?" I wanted to say so much, but all I said was, "She's confused, baby, but I'm not. I know what love looks like, and it doesn't leave.
She crawled into my lap and fell asleep there. We sat across from each other in mediation a month later. Taylor wore pearl earrings. I wore exhaustion. She leaned in. "You know she's mine, right?" I stared at her. "She's not a toy you left behind, Taylor. She's a human being." She rolled her eyes. "You always thought you were better than me. You think just because you stuck around you deserve her." I didn't answer that. Because the truth is, yes, I did. When I walked out of that room, I wasn't scared anymore. Not of Taylor, not of the system, not of what Ava might think. Because
I finally understood something I hadn't let myself admit for 5 years. I wasn't just babysitting. I was her mother. In every way that mattered. It didn't happen all at once. There was no rage, no screaming into pillows, no wine-drunk text I regretted the next day. The moment I truly let go of hoping Taylor would change, it was just silence. It was a Tuesday. Rain hit the kitchen window. Ava was at the table, drawing with her tongue sticking out the way she does when she's focused. I watched your sketch's sun with too many rays, and I realized I didn't need to fight Taylor. I just needed to be still and let her reveal herself. I stopped replying to Taylor's text. I didn't take the bait when she accused me of poisoning Ava against her. I didn't respond when she posted an old picture of them on Facebook, captioned, "Reclaiming what was always mine, #motherhood, second chances." I didn't even flinch when mutual friends reached out saying, "She said you're obsessed with Ava, that you're trying to replace her." I simply unfriended them, quietly. I finally hired a lawyer. Not the most expensive one, I couldn't afford that, but a good one. A kind-eyed woman named Leah who said, "You've done more than raise her. You've kept her safe. That matters." We filed for legal guardianship with supporting documents from teachers, doctors, neighbors, letters of support. Ava's pediatrician even offered a sworn statement. I didn't show the paperwork to Taylor. I didn't announce anything. Let her yell into the wind. When the court ordered Taylor to attend joint therapy sessions with Ava before granting any further visitation, she showed up twice, late both times. The therapist, a tall man with gray eyes and slow words, told the court, "Ava displays anxiety around her biological mother, emotional distress. She calls her caretaker mom without hesitation or confusion. That's worth noting." Taylor argued that I coached her. The court didn't buy it. One night, around 11:42 p.m., my phone lit up. "Taylor, you think this is over? It's not. I'm her mother. You can't erase that. You just want to play house with a kid that was never yours." I looked at the message for a long time. Then I blocked her number. No rage, no warning, no reply. Just stillness. I created a group chat with 2 of Taylor's old friends and our cousin Mia, just to clarify everything. "Hey, just want to clear something up before rumors get wild. Taylor is suing me for custody of Ava. I've raised her for 5 years with no support, no contact, no help. I'm not speaking badly of her, just setting boundaries." "She what? I thought she left Ava with you while she got clean." Friend number 1. "She told us you offered to take Ava, that she tried to get her back and you refused." "That's not what happened. I just wanted to say it clearly, so you all can decide who you believe. But I won't be engaging beyond this." Then I left the group. Taylor showed up in a peach-colored suit, hair curled, glossy lips, her new fiancé at her side. I showed up in a simple navy dress and flats I got from a clearance rack at Target. Ava wore a clip in her hair that said "Brave." She held my hand like it was the only thing tethering her to solid ground. The judge asked Ava who she wanted to live with, a question that sliced me in half.
But she didn't even blink. She looked up and said, "My mommy, the one who makes waffles on Saturdays. Her." She pointed at me. I tried not to cry. Taylor looked like she'd been slapped. Her lawyer tried one last angle, that I was mentally unfit due to work stress. They submitted screenshots of vague tweets from 2019 when I said, "Motherhood is so heavy, sometimes I feel like I'm drowning." I leaned forward and said clearly, "Yes, I said that. Because loving someone this much means you worry about getting it wrong. That's not weakness. That's honesty." Silence. The judge nodded. We won temporary custody that day. Official, with court orders and signatures. But I didn't celebrate. There was no party, no champagne, just me and Ava sitting on the living room floor watching a cartoon she liked, with her head resting on my lap, her breathing even, her trust whole. Taylor stopped showing up, didn't appear for the next court review, ignored therapy requirements, her lawyer dropped her fiancé left. She deleted all the posts. Then, 3 weeks later, I got a letter from her. No envelope, just a piece of paper folded in half, dropped in my mailbox. "I didn't think you'd actually fight me. You were always the passive one. I thought you'd just give her back. But I see now, she's not even mine anymore. Not really. She's yours. Don't screw it up." No signature. I didn't reply, didn't post about it, didn't tell Eva. I just took the letter, folded it again, and tucked it into the box where I keep every one of her childhood drawings. Not because I forgave her, but because I needed to remember what not to become. We don't talk about Taylor much anymore. Not because we pretend she never existed, but because Ava doesn't ask, and I don't volunteer. Sometimes when we're at the park and Ava sees a mom yelling at her kid, she'll lean in and whisper, "I'm glad you're not like that." And I'll just smile, because she doesn't know what it cost me to not become that. After the court ruling, Taylor went quiet. Not the kind of silence that feels peaceful, the kind that creeps up the spine and makes you check your locks twice at night. She unfollowed every family member on social media, even the ones who had defended her. Mia told me she was staying at some motel outside town. No job, no fiancé, no more posts about second chances. Just vanished. But not before sending one last message to Ava's old school email address. "Just so you know, I never meant to leave you for so long. I thought I had more time. But I blinked and someone else stole you. If you ever want the truth, I'll tell it. But I know she won't let you hear it. I miss you. Mom." Ava never saw it. I did. Because I had access to her school inbox. Because I checked it every Sunday, just in case a teacher sent something about field trips or project deadlines. I hovered over the forward button, but I didn't click it. Not because I was hiding the truth, but because Ava didn't need one more confused apology from someone who had made a life of leaving. The months that followed weren't smooth. Ava would ask small things, like, "Do you think my other mom still has my drawings? Do you think she ever really wanted me?" I never answered with bitterness. I'd say, "She wanted what she could, but some people don't know how to want things the right way." That seemed to be enough. Sometimes she'd cry in the car after school for no reason. Sometimes she'd laugh too hard at jokes that weren't funny. She was grieving, not just her biological mom, but the idea of her. Grief doesn't always wear black. Sometimes it wears pink sneakers and eats too much cereal before bed. I signed her up for therapy. Not because she was breaking down, but because I didn't want her to hold it in the way I had. She told her therapist she sometimes felt like a burden, that maybe if she hadn't been born, nobody would have fought. It took everything in me not to storm into that room and wrap her up right then. But I waited, let her say it out loud, let her exhale the fear. Healing starts with naming what hurts. One rainy evening, while folding laundry, Ava came to me holding a sheet of notebook paper. "Can I read you something?" I said yes. She cleared her throat. "Dear Mom, I used to dream you'd come back with a crown and say sorry for being gone. But now I think maybe you didn't come back because you were scared. Or maybe you just didn't want me enough. But I still love the part of you that gave me life. I just don't miss the part that left me." Then she folded the paper in half and said, "I don't think I need to keep this." She tossed it into the trash, then sat next to me and asked if we could watch a movie. I used to fantasize about confronting Taylor, telling her every ounce of pain she caused, every lie, every missed moment. But somewhere along the way, I stopped needing that. I stopped checking her page, stopped wondering if she'd change, stopped counting the days since she disappeared again. I just lived. Taught Ava how to ride a bike, showed her how to bake banana bread, watched her win second place in a spelling bee for the word resilient. She asked me what it meant. I said, "It means someone who keeps growing, even when they've been broken." She smiled. "That's like us." One night, I came home late from work. She had already eaten, showered, and laid out her outfit for school the next day. I walked into her room to kiss her goodnight and found a sticky note on my pillow. "You're the best mom I never asked for, but I'm so glad you showed up anyway. Ava." Another time, she corrected her classmate who said she was adopted. "No," she said. "I just ended up with the right person instead." At a family barbecue, when someone asked her, "Do you ever talk to your real mom?" she just shrugged and said, "Yeah, every day." Then pointed at me. A year later, the court granted me full, permanent custody. The papers were thick, filled with clauses and legal jargon, but one sentence stopped me cold. The petitioner, having demonstrated sole parental responsibility in all aspects, shall now be recognized as the child's legal and custodial guardian. I cried when I read it, not because it changed anything between us, but because it put into law what I had already felt in my bones. She was mine, and I was hers, not by blood, but by choice, by the kind of love that stays. Taylor hasn't contacted us again. I don't know where she is. I don't wish her harm, but I don't wish her back either. Because not everyone who shares your blood is your family. Sometimes your real mother is the one who showed up with cracked hands and late rent, but always a full fridge and a safe place to cry. Sometimes family is the one who said, "I've got you," and meant it for years, for birthdays, for report cards, for fevers, for all of it. Ava once asked me what I'd say to Taylor if I ever saw her again. I told her, nothing, because peace doesn't need permission, and silence is its own kind of closure.